All right, hello everyone. My name is Chris, and I'm here to give a quick talk on hosting websites with Netlify. Before we get started, can we get a show of hands of who's going to the networking event? I think every hand should be raised. um, I would highly encourage you to join. And the reason I wanted to go with this talk today was to give something actionable you can do as soon as you get home. And hosting websites is a great way to put your projects up there, especially if you're working on any sort of web technologies, Angular, React, making a portfolio website to show off some of the work you've done. And in the past, we've talked about this topic before, using GitHub Pages, and that's still a great tool. I still recommend that. But Netlify has been it's kind of a new player in the space, and they've done some really cool stuff. And that's something I want to just give a quick demo today. So what is Netlify? I like to call it a modern web development platform. It lets you easily deploy any sort of front-end website, be it just a plain HTML, CSS, could be Angular, React, Vue. It could also be a static site generator like Jekyll, Hugo, Gatsby, anything that you can just build and serve as a static website. And I didn't full screen that, but so some of the advantages that I've found are, well, straight from the horse's mouth. We have this table here that kind of shows some of the advantages here, and so two of the main points that I really enjoyed was the build limits and the form handling. So with GitHub Pages, every time you upload the code, it doesn't build it right away, and sometimes you're not sure if you didn't just clear the cache right or if it didn't update yet. That can be a little bit, it's not a deal breaker, but it does get in the way sometimes. And for form handling, sometimes you'll have to write your own backend to handle the form, or you'll go through a service like FormSpree. Either of those are fine, but Netlify will handle it for you right in the place where you're hosting the website. And that's really all I had for slides. So let's just go into a demo, and we'll see if this is a demo on Netlify or a demo of why not to do live demos. So let's see. I have a light and a dark one. Is one or the other easier to see? I'll go with the light one. It's been a while. So first of all, I'm going to start with just a simple website. It's just got a index file, and we can open that up here. And so all we have here just some HTML boilerplate and just a simple H1, a placeholder picture, and some text. And so to host this with, I can show what it looks like real quick. That's it. That's all it is. And to get hosting with Netlify, so if you're signed out and you click the login button on the home page, this is what the actual home page looks like. You can get started for free, and they'll bring you to the sign up page. I've already signed up. The page looks about the same, so I find it easy to just sign in with GitHub since I already have a account. And so one of the easiest ways to do it is just drag and drop your site folder here. So I can pull it up in my Finder, or if you're on Windows or Windows Explorer, you can go to where the site is, just drag and drop the site in here, and you can see here it says published. And if you go to the URL, it's published. There you go. And so if you're not really going to make any changes, or you just want to throw up like a one-time project, you can do that. If you go into the settings here, you can go to change site name, and you can say my simple site. Maybe that's available. Yep, and you say my simple site, then netlify.com, and you can, if you buy your own domain name, you can host it through Netlify themselves. I think they have a interface to buy a domain. I don't remember here. Yeah, so you can see I host the free Code Camp Norman website through here. So you can add and register a domain. I won't do that now. That requires actually buying a domain. I'd rather not do that here. So that was the drag and drop way. Now I'll show the way with doing it through GitHub. And one of the cool things is that every time you push code, it'll build it automatically for you. And when you do, when you use something like a static website like Jekyll, or if you use something like Angular, if you push something that breaks the build, it won't take down your website. It'll just keep the last working build. So let's do that. In the interest of time, I already uploaded the current state of the code to GitHub. So I'll just say new site from Git. Means hit new site from GitHub. It'll authorize you. If it's your first time, it'll ask you to allow it to go in. And so the thing, I think I called it Netlify simple site, maybe? Yeah. So here we want to deploy from master branch. We don't have any build commands, so we just hit deploy site, and it's queued and it's published. So it's really quick for a static website. There's nothing to build, nothing to do that. And so let's change some code and push some changes, and then we can you can see it update. So let's put a new H2 and say, let's host this. Let's deploy this with GitHub. That should do it. And so we can add it, commit. Let's do made some changes. Bad practice for commit messages. Don't do this. And we can git push. All right. So that's pushed. And if we go back to the Netlify, if we refresh the page, we can see it's already in the middle of building and it's published already. So if it was GitHub pages, you might have to wait 5-6 minutes, I think. So, if you're, especially for a beginner, when you're just trying to do stuff, this is great for just getting it up and running. And the URL is, perfect for putting it on, your resume, especially after you've gone to the networking fair. You want to start adding some more polish to your resume. You can start adding links to your projects. And how are we doing on time? Should be okay. I'll demo the forms part of this. So we have the site running and we want to add forms. And so if we click the form tab here, you can see it actually just tells you all you have to do is just add Netlify attribute to your form. So let's do that. So we'll make a form. We won't have an action. You can put an action to your custom success submitted page, but we'll just use their default one for now. And all we have to do is just add the Netlify attribute. So let's just have a simple text area and an email area. And if I remember how to do this, yeah. Do that. We can do that. And we'll put a submit button. Okay. That should be a form with just this should be a name. It probably doesn't matter too much. So it's a name, and we can take their email as a contact form. So let's add this. We can commit, say we made added form. And we push that. So if we refresh this page, we should see something, maybe. Yep, there we go. So now you see one form collecting data. So we go to the actual website here. We see the form with no discernible instructions, but we know that it was a name and it was an email. And so if we said email, it'll do some front-end validation. So submit it, say thank you, your form has been submitted. This is the default page. You can mock up your own success page. And we go back to our backend here. If we go into the forms, we can see form 1, and we have the submission that I just put in with the name and email. And so no need to handle any backend sign up for a different account somewhere, it's done straight through here. I don't remember how many submissions the free tier gives you, but probably more than you'll need, especially for just a personal website. I was going to demonstrate just putting up a Angular website here. So I won't make any from scratch. I've already forked the networking website that Alex was working on. So maybe, did I? Maybe I didn't. I guess we can go into a semi kind of Q&A portion. Yes, Austin.
So I've used Heroku, and one of the downsides of free account is that if your website doesn't receive any activity for 30 minutes, it basically kind of like lose, it kind of just shelves it, and then it has to respin it back up. Does that happen with Netlify?
So the question was, for something like Heroku, which is another popular platform for deploying websites, you can have a problem where it goes to sleep after a certain number of inactive minutes. Since it's a free tier, you're not paying any money. So with Netlify, I have not experienced anything like that. I hosted a React app during the Jamstack Hackathon that Free Code Camp actually put on in partnership with Netlify. So we made a small React app and we hosted it, and I didn't notice any sort of downtime from the server. So I just didn't rename it. Forgot to name that. So with the Angular project, the build command is just ng build. We can do ahead of time and build it for production. And I believe it's just distribution, the dist folder, and the site name. Should work. And we can see the site deploys in progress, and we can actually see the build log. This is going to run for maybe half a minute, and you should see an Angular site up. Yeah, we don't want. Yeah, it's. So one of the differences between Netlify and something like Heroku is Heroku hosts a full backend for you. So you can't host your Rails backend if you have something like that, or a Node.js server. It's fully front end only. And yeah, so just for hosting your front end, you can go through Netlify and find another service for hosting your backend, whether it be Heroku or something else. Since it's your backend, you may not exactly need it to be up and running all the time, but your front end can be pulled up pretty quickly right away. Yeah, any other questions? No? All right. Thank you.